Keith, let's start with you giving me a detailed explanation for all that's happened so far.
Asking me for an explanation, huh?
Today is supposed to be the day that my little sister has her wedding with someone, but why on the day of her wedding were you showing up to it wearing the groom's tuxedo? When I saw you walking in on my sister's wedding day as the groom, I was more shocked than actually angered with you. Even now, I'm having a hard time showing any other emotions besides shock because of how outlandish you've been.
Well, as you've pretty much seen everything for what it is, I shouldn't have to give you an explanation for what's going on here.
No, I deserve an explanation for all of that because I currently cannot believe my eyes.
Oh, for crying out loud, I guess there's no way I'm getting out of this without giving you a rundown, so I'll give you that explanation. I'm going to get married to your little sister, Joy, okay? I'm sorry for keeping all that a secret from you. Now, can we get to the part where you divorce me?
Huh? Since when have you been going after my sister, and when did she start to think it was okay to marry my husband?
Well, about half a year ago, I started to talk with her about my feelings towards her. She was working at the bar that I loved to go to a lot back then, and when she came up to me to get my order, she asked me if I was her sister's husband or not. That, I guess, is what you would actually consider the start to all this. And well, from that point on, I tried my hardest to resist her looks, but man, did the image of me being her in my mind look amazing. And bam! She had a hold of me, and there was no other way for me to free myself anymore.
So you really were taken away by her looks?
Huh?
I know that I've already let you in on this whole story before, but let me explain to you one more time the reason for why I left my family behind 5 years ago.
What? Why would I need to hear about that again?
My sister, Joy, she, for some reason, takes a liking in stealing anything I lay my hands on, whether that be things or people. And as for my parents, they're the kind of people that look past her doing that sort of stuff to me and love her with all their heart. So to escape such a hellish environment as that, I ran away from my home, leaving everyone in my family behind to start a new life where I didn't have to worry about Joy. Don't you remember when I told you the reason why I couldn't introduce you to my family before we were married was because of that reason? I guess you don't, because in the end, even you, Keith, even you became another part of my sister's hobby and have been stolen away from me.
Oh, come on now. I'm sure that you might just think that your sister is stealing me away from you without any actual emotion to it, but she really does love me, and I love her even more back. And you, of all people, being her sister, should be glad that she's finally found someone like me that makes her so happy. You being not happy to see that just shows how horrible of a person that you really are inside.
And the same could be said of someone that tries to have a wedding with his wife's little sister even before getting a divorce.
Excuse me?
To be honest, I never even wanted to be at my sister's wedding today. Well, either way, I'm going to head home now after this.
Hey. Things have only just begun, and I want you around to see it.
Do you actually think I want to stick around and see the end?
Huh?
You went out and told everyone that you divorced me, and that's how you got all your friends to make it to the wedding today. But those friends of yours that you went out talking to happened to be my friends as well, and figured out right away that something was wrong when the invitation said you'd be marrying my little sister. This isn't going to end well for you, Keith.
Huh? The friends that we both get along with know about this? I don't remember telling any of my friends who are your friends as well about this.
You did, but I won't tell you who. But those friends of ours saw that you sent invitations that you planned to marry my little sister. They were shocked to see that, but were even more shocked that you were doing all of this to me after everyone thought we had such a good relationship. Either way, people know just how messed up all of this is, and the word will start to spread, and everyone will begin to leave.
What?
You can choose to continue with the wedding if you'd like, but don't expect there to be many people remaining after learning about the crap you're trying to pull. Be ready to have the whole world pointing fingers at you for what you've done and calling you a freak and an idiot.
What? That's... Your sister and I were supposed to have a beautiful wedding today and be celebrated by everyone we invited.
Well, with that, in a few days, let's start talks about the settlement I plan to ask from you.
You're planning to ask for money from me now?
And don't plan on coming home today, okay? I don't want to see your face right now, and I don't want to be sleeping in the same house as you anymore.
Wait, Heidi.
I'll be going now. What the heck, Heidi? Hurry up and get everyone to come back to our wedding. Huh? Why are you asking me, of all people, to do that? If you want them all back there watching your messed up wedding, then you go get them yourself. But you're the one that did all of this, so you have to get them back here or else they won't listen to me. Just because your husband left you for me because I'm better in every way doesn't mean you can just start talking bad about us and getting everyone to leave the wedding we planned out. What the heck are you thinking? I didn't do anything to make those people start leaving. Those people were all told by a friend of mine, and they chose themselves to believe your wedding is messed up and leave. And I was out of there before everyone else started to leave, so how's that my fault? I'm not responsible for their actions, nor am I going to be responsible for getting them to turn around and go back to you. So go out and get them yourself. Come back here right now! Heidi! It's been destroyed. You may have ruined my whole wedding with what you did, but I'm still going to be married to Keith, and there's nothing you can do about it. Now just divorce him already so that I can have him. I am going to hand in our marriage papers soon, and then make sure that his parents understand that I'll be his new wife. Do you even know where his parents live? What the heck are you talking about? You are living with them right now, right? Huh? Those 60-year-old people that you're living with are his parents, right? I really want to come over there and introduce myself to them, but you're always sitting in their house with them and it's driving me nuts. Can you please hurry up and get lost already? Wait, could you be mistaking my foster parents for his parents right now? Huh? Foster parents? After I left you guys in that house, I had gone out saying that I was a foster child who had no parents. And that's when I was able to find my foster parents who took me in even though I was already in my late teens. Did you not hear about any of this from Dad? Just wait a second. That means that the gorgeous house that Keith and you have been living in is... This is the house of my foster dad. Then what about Keith's parents? To be honest, I've never met either one of them either. He told me that right after he got into college, his parents went through a tough divorce and then moved off to different places without him. And ever since then, he's been without parents, and that all happened a while back, and he's never even heard from them since. Neither of us even know where they went, to tell you the truth. Huh? So I've never met either of his parents, and he was at least able to meet my foster parents before we had our wedding. Are you kidding me? So you never even talked with Keith about who the older couple is that we've been living with? Because if you asked him whether they were his parents or not, you would have gotten your answer a whole lot sooner. He just told me that I wouldn't be able to see them at the wedding. Well, him being vague with you about it and there being no explanation isn't my problem, but I will say this. Your reason for wanting to marry Keith hasn't been for him, but rather this amazingly beautiful house that I live in right now, right? Well, you getting to live in that house all by yourself with that older couple isn't fair. So that's why I looked for your husband, and when I found the bar he went to often, I applied for a job there and was able to make my move. I planned to marry him so that I could get that house and live there as well. And what about the name on that house? I made sure to double check the last name on that house and everything. And I can confirm that the last name on that house is the same as Keith's. And that's because Keith took my new last name in the marriage. Huh? When I was adopted by my foster parents after running away from Mom and Dad, they helped me change my last name since I'm legally their child now. And so that would mean that both Keith and I share the same last name as the owners of this house. That's why the name on the house is the same as his last name, right? What the heck? How am I supposed to let you get away with some stupid reason like that? Why didn't you ever tell me you changed your last name sooner? I assumed you would have heard from Mom and Dad about how I found new parents and they adopted me. But to be fair, you never even listened to what I say anyway, and On top of that, after I ran away, you started to tell everyone you kicked me out of the house and that I was mentally ill. That was you spreading that rumor, right? Why would I care about you knowing about my situation after running away when you go and do things like that? Ah, that's right. How about you change your story about getting adopted and make it seem like I was adopted by them instead? If you let me become their child, then I'll let you have Keith back. What? All right, that's a pretty good idea, right? No, that right there is anything but a good idea. Why is it not good? I'm giving you back the man you love so much, right? In your case, you should be begging me to give him back to you. This is your chance. You think I'm still going to love the man that cheated on me with my little sister? Huh? That bastard told me why he went after you a little while ago and explained how much he loves you over me. As well as told me that you've been together for 6 months now. He told you that already? The fact that you're getting surprised by that is surprising. Then, what can I do for you that'll get you to let me be their kid? No matter what you do, you're not going to become their child. But that's not frickin' fair. You always get to have things your way, Heidi. Then, Joy, if you really want to become their new child, do you think you can speak 5 different languages within the next 2 years fluently like me? Huh? You have to be pretty globally sophisticated to be their child, as well as know a lot about my foster dad's company. What the heck? Why do I have to do all that? The reason for me being their foster child is because I helped my foster dad's business, and will someday be the one to take over their company. And that's going to be happening in the next 2 years, so I have to be ready. What? What does this even mean? If you can't do that, then stop trying to be their next child, okay? Also, in the next few days, I'll be asking for a settlement from you. A settlement? Why? Do you really think you could get away with stealing someone's husband and there'd be no consequences for it? Unlike all those times in the past, you're an adult now, and the only thing that can save you now is money, not your parents. So don't go trying to find a way out of this one, because you won't escape me. But you're asking for money from your own sister. Well, that's still up for debate, actually. Whether you really are my little sister anymore or just some stranger to me. But either way, I'm getting a settlement. You're kidding me. In my case, I had my husband stolen from me, so I have the right to take you to court and make you pay for the damages caused. So make sure you pay every penny I ask for, and then get out of my life. But this shouldn't be happening.
Hey, Heidi, you're asking me for over $60,000? Why do I have to pay you that much? You should only be able to ask me for a smaller amount based on me cheating on you, right? I already have to deal with paying for that failed wedding and the wedding ring, but now I'm being asked to pay $60,000?
Well, when it comes to that wedding you have to pay for, you used both our money to start paying for it, right?
Wait, what?
And as for some of the money that I had in my private savings account, you used it as well on that wedding. I don't know how you figured out my PIN for that account, but you took my money without asking.
So you want me to give that back to you, huh?
Well, when you add in that money you took from me in our shared account, the settlement comes out to $60,000.
But I don't have that kind of money right now.
Do you not realize that you stole money from me to use on a wedding with my little sister while we've still been married? If you thought that was okay, then I find it okay to make you go into debt to pay me back. And you have no right complaining to me now, right?
But for some reason I haven't been able to get any response from Joy about this. And now I'm on my own, facing $60,000. Wait, what the hell is going on here? Why did I have to end up dealing with all this by myself? What did I even do that was bad enough to deserve all this?
Maybe go back and look at what you were explaining to me a little while back about what you did and my sister did. Anyway, I'm going to have my lawyer be the one to deal with you now. So take the number that's on that business card I left for you and talk with my lawyer if you have anything else to say.
And you're just gonna leave me now?
You already know the answer to that question, Keith. Now, goodbye forever.
Wait a second, Heidi. Having to get divorced from you in this manner? I don't have anywhere to go if you leave me like this. Heidi!
To start, let's talk about my sister, Joy. She had tried to get her parents to pay off the settlement I had asked for from her, but not even they had the money to pay for what I was asking. Just a little while back, the business they had ended up going bankrupt, and they had to sell their house in order to pay the bank, and have since then been without proper jobs. So with whatever money they all did have, they used to pay me, and then all had to move away into a small and worn-down apartment together. Joy still hasn't paid everything off that I've asked for yet, but I'll make sure that she pays me little by little until she'd met the amount I've asked for. And now, here's what happened with my ex-husband. He had touched money that was not his in the first place, and even then, after using said money, he didn't have anything left to pay me that $60,000 I asked for. He ended up having to borrow money to pay the money I was asking for off. And then after that, was left with no place to go. He began stalking Joy in hopes of getting money from her, and also handed in marriage paperwork to the city office without her approval. But what happens next with those two now that they might get married will have to be saved for another day, when there's more time to talk. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story. Hey Tyler, are you there? I just wanted to let you know that the hospital let me out. You know, now that I'm done giving birth to our children and all.
Oh, really? I didn't know they were going to be letting you out today. I thought I would have a little bit more time to myself.
Well, I am out of the hospital today. They tell me that I've recovered and there's no point in being here anymore.
Darn. I really did think that they were going to keep you there for just a little bit longer.
Tyler, we talked about this. Before I went into the hospital, you asked me about how long I thought I would be in there, remember? I told you that in most cases they tend to not keep mothers and their babies there at the hospital for more than a week. But more important than that, you said you were going to come and pick me up and take me home. Don't tell me you forgot.
Oh, darn, I guess I did say something like that, didn't I?
Tyler, what is the matter with you? You really need to pull yourself together. I mean, you're a father now, don't you realize that? Not only that, but you're a father to twins. I know that this is the first time for us both being parents, but this right now is not giving me a lot of hope for the future. You've got to pull yourself together.
Why don't you just settle down there, okay? I'm sure that you're not supposed to be getting all uppity like that right after you've had a child, right? That can't be good for you.
Excuse me? Who do you think you are talking to me like that when you're the one who forgot to come pick up your wife and 2 children?
Yeah, I guess you might have a point there.
Ugh, I literally can't even with you sometimes, Tyler. Well, can you at least tell me where you are right now? Are you at home? Are you still at work? Where are you?
Sorry, I'm just a little busy right now, and I don't think I'm going to be able to come and get you all. Maybe just call a cab or something?
What do you mean you're busy? You're too busy to come and pick up your wife and meet your 2 children for the first time ever? What could you possibly be so busy with that you can't come and get us? And just where are you anyways?
I'm actually in Hawaii right now.
What do you mean you're in Hawaii? Is that supposed to be some kind of joke? Why are you over there?
Well, because I'm traveling around with an old friend of mine. That's why.
What do you mean an old friend? Who on earth could you be with right now? Unless you're not talking about your childhood neighbor. What's her name? Danny?
You guessed it. I'm with Danny right now. She actually moved kind of nearby recently because of a promotion she got in her job, and we reconnected around then.
Well, is there anyone else that the 2 of you are there with right now?
Not at all. It's just the 2 of us together right now.
Hold on a second. So you're telling me that you've abandoned your wife and newborn children so that you could go on some island getaway with your old friend? How could you do this to us? What's the matter with you, Tyler? This is just unacceptable.
You really are reading way too much into this. Why do you always freak out over the smallest things, huh? Besides, you were to talk about being worried for the future, but you're talking to me like this? How am I supposed to feel good about you as the mother of our children when you're telling me that you can't even take care of 2 kids on your own?
Are you kidding me right now? You're telling me that I'm not doing enough for us right now?
I mean that I've been talking to Danny a lot about becoming parents, and she had plenty to tell me about having twins. She told me that even though they're born on the same day, it's basically the same as having 2 kids over the course of a few years. You always said you wanted to have 2 kids, and now you have them. So if you really meant what you said, then I don't see why having twins and taking care of them by yourself would really be that much of a big deal. Besides, they're twins. They have a special bond between them that probably makes it even easier than just raising 1 kid would be.
What on earth are you talking about? Do you really think that any of that is true? You can't be serious, right?
I'm just saying that I don't think you should be crying about how you can't do things when you haven't even given it a shot.
It's not that I'm saying I can't do it. It's that you're their father and my husband, and I want you here to help me.
Oh, sorry. Danny is saying that it's time to go. I don't really have time to keep up this conversation anymore.
Tyler! You aren't just going to leave me like this, are you? You wouldn't dare.
I'm really sorry, Erica, but if you can't calm down and act like a responsible parent, then maybe you and I should get divorced.
What? A divorce? Right after we had our children? What is the matter with you?
I mean, it's only 2 little babies and you're acting like I'm asking you for some kind of impossible task or something. But I think that you should be really grateful to Danny and I for giving you this chance to get so much experience with raising children. So I just hope that this encourages you and that you can learn to get over yourself and do what's best for our family, okay? Anyways, I've got to go. Have a good time with the kids.
I should be grateful to you and Danny? Do you really think that I don't see what you're doing here, Tyler? But fine, I understand. You have a good trip. I'll have so much to tell you when you get back.
Hey, Danny, how are things going? Are you still getting your pedicure done?
No, I just finished a little bit ago, actually. Right now, I'm just sitting in the hotel lobby, sipping on some coffee and just enjoying the lovely weather. But I'll be back up there soon, don't you worry.
Okay, sounds good to me. Thanks for letting me know.
But I thought I told you that I was going to go up to the room when I was done anyways, right? I'm just curious, was there a particular reason why you reached to me like this when you knew I wouldn't be much longer?
Well, actually, I got a message from my wife. Apparently, she was let out of the hospital today.
Oh, really? I see. Is that it? What do you want me to do about it?
No, it's no big deal or anything. I just wanted to let you know that I told Erica about the things that you were telling me. Like how twins are basically just like skipping ahead to having 2 kids and how this is a good chance for Erica to gain some experience as a mother and all that.
I see. Well, I'm glad that I was able to be of some help to you, too. Anyways, I'm just about ready to head back up to the room. I can't wait for you to see all the work that I ended up having done at the salon. I promise to give you a good look at it all.
Oh, wow, I can't wait. I'll get the room ready for you then. You go ahead and do that, Danny, because after I go up, I'm not going to want to leave the room until the next morning. So get ready.
Oh, wow. I can't wait for that. See you in a bit then.
Hey, Erica, are you there? What the heck is going on here? I got back home today. I'm standing in front of our house, but my key doesn't seem to work on the lock. What's this about?
Oh, you're finally back from your trip? Well, let me be the first to say welcome back, Tyler. But I'm afraid that I don't live in that apartment any longer.
What are you talking about? You moved somewhere new?
Well, I just mean that I lived in that apartment even before you and I were together, and when you moved in, it was already pretty cramped. But now that I have these twins to hurry about, I just figured that it was time that I moved somewhere bigger, somewhere I could raise a family. So I canceled our lease and moved into the place where I'm at now.
Oh, I see. But could you at least tell me where it is that you moved to?
You want me to tell you the address of the new place where I'm living? Nah, I'm okay, thanks.
But I don't understand. Why wouldn't you want me to know where it is that you're living right now?
Well, I guess I'm just still trying to take advantage of the chance you gave me to learn how to be a good mother to these twins. In fact, I don't think that we should see each other at all until I've really gotten the hang of this.
But wait, when will that be? Because you're making it sound like it's going to be a really long time.
Oops, one of the twins started crying. I've got to go now, but it's been nice catching up.
Just 1 second. I haven't even seen my children once, and now you're telling me I'll have to meet them? And now you're telling me I'll have to wait even longer to meet them? Come on, just tell me where you're living now. Where am I supposed to go if you got rid of our apartment?
What is the matter with you, Tyler? Why did you just show up to my place completely unannounced?
Danny, finally. I was wondering when you were going to text me. Who was that guy I saw you with? What were the two of you doing together?
You know that I live with my husband, Tyler. Don't play dumb. I thought I told you that you were never, ever to come over to my house except the days that I tell you he's not going to be there.
Wait, so that guy was your husband then?
Of course he is. Or was. I don't know anymore, thanks to you, now that he knows about the affair. Do you have any idea what you've cost me? Here I was, thinking that I finally settled things with a man who was in line to be the next president of his company. But now you might have ruined this for me.
Don't go blaming that on me. How was I supposed to know any of that? Besides, I don't even have a place to go back home to. That's why I had to go to your house.
Well, there is no place for you here, so just go away and leave me alone for a bit.
But I'm telling you that I don't have anywhere that I could even go back to. And my parents live on the other side of the country, so I can't even go to them for help either. I don't have anywhere I can go.
Well then, go rent a room at a hotel or something, and then tomorrow you can go fly away to be with your parents. But just know that if my marriage gets ruined because of this, you're going to be in big, big trouble.
Erica, are you there? Please, you have to get back to me right away. Did you tell my parents that I was having an affair with Danny?
Sorry, what are you going on about now, Tyler?
Now you listen to me. Thanks to you canceling the lease on your apartment, I didn't have anywhere that I could go home to. So I bought a plane ticket to go and try to stay with my parents, but when I got there, both of them were furious with me and my mom even slapped me in the face. Not only that, but even my little brother was shoving me around because he was so upset. Then my dad walked up to me, told me that they were going to take me out of their will, and then kicked me out of their house.
Oh, wow. Well, it sounds to me like you've found yourself in quite the mess, haven't you?
What is that supposed to mean? Did you have something to do with this? I knew that you did.
Before we get into that can of worms, you should know that both your parents came to my parents' house to apologize to me.
My parents visited you? Just to apologize?
That's right. They did all of this about 2 days ago. I think they might have felt compelled to do so after I showed them all the information my private detective had on you. Then I told them about how I was going to divorce you because of what he found, and well, I guess you know the rest.
You hired someone to follow and collect information on me? Why would you do that?
Now why do people hire PIs to follow their spouses? Let's think about that, shall we?
You mean you knew about Danny and I?
Knew about you two? Oh, please, you hardly even bothered trying to hide it from me. The PI ended up giving me a discounted rate by the time he finished all his work. He said you made it too easy for him and that he felt bad charging me the full price. But anyways, since I have all this evidence, it isn't going to be hard at all to sue the two of you for your affair.
Okay, let's just calm down a little bit here, Erica. I mean, you don't really want to sue us, right? You wouldn't dare. Please, I thought that it was really going to be easy for you to raise those kids. I never thought that you were going to divorce me over this.
Do you really think I was ever buying any of that nonsense that you were trying to sell me?
What do you mean by that?
I mean about you saying that having twins is fine for people who wanted 2 kids in the first place because it's just like a shortcut to having them. Or that because of the bonds twins have, that it might even be easier than raising a single baby on my own? You think I was listening to any of that garbage that you were trying to justify your own actions with?
What do you mean? I really thought it was all true. I mean, that's what Danny told me was true anyways.
And just what in the world does she even know about having twins? And how are you trying to get out of being there for your children while putting it all on me? You're a pathetic excuse for a father and a husband. Do you know that?
You don't really mean that, do you? Please. I had no idea that you were going to get so upset over this.
Oh, I am way past being upset about this. But right now, the only thing that I want from you is your signature on our divorce papers.
Divorce? Please, you can't really mean that, right? I mean, you were just going on about how difficult it's going to be to raise twins on your own. How are you going to raise our kids if I'm not there to help you?
No, please. It's clear to me now that I would never, ever be able to count on you in the first place.
But I'm their father. How can you say that?
Oh, so now you want to be a father to your children? It sure didn't seem that way when I was in labor. You were busy running away to Hawaii to cheat on me while I did all the hard work. And I'm sure you do the same thing over and over again.
Of course I wouldn't. Don't you see that I'm trying to fix things right now? I want to be there for you and the kids now.
Well, you can explain your side of the story to my lawyer, because I'm done with this.
I mean, you really already hired a lawyer for all of this?
Of course I did. Not to mention that I sent all of your things from my apartment to Danny's address.
You did what?
Well, it sounds to me like since your parents don't want you around, she's all you have left. Anyways, after I sue the both of you, I don't really care what happens to either of you. So have a nice life, Tyler. In the end, all of Tyler's things were delivered to Danny's house, and her already suspicious husband had all the proof he needed that something was up. I reached out to him in secret and shared the files my PI had gathered, and then he knew the whole truth. We both decided to sue Tyler and Danny for their affairs behind our backs, and we both got a big payout for all their dishonesty. I also made sure that Tyler would have to pay child support for both our children until they became adults. After her divorce, I'm not sure what happened to Danny. I heard that she tried to move back in with her parents, but that they had already heard about how she cheated. Like Tyler's family, they berated her with disappointment and finally kicked her out of the house forever. Tyler, meanwhile, fell into so much debt after the lawsuit and divorce that he had to take on a second job to afford all his payments. I hear that with no place to go, he had to move into a tiny apartment where he lives all by himself. The only reminder I have that he exists at all are the checks I get in the mail monthly. After I moved out of my apartment, I ended up moving back in with my parents for the time being. I was so distraught just having the twins and losing my husband all in the same short span of time. But I was so lucky that they happily took me in. It's much easier to raise children when you have a support network of people willing to step up for you. I've already moved out, however, finding a job in an apartment large enough for my children and I to live in. But we still live close enough for me to ask my parents to babysit when I need them to. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this. Hey Robert, are you there? I just wanted to let you know that I'm leaving my appointment to check up on my pregnancy.
Oh, was that today? I completely forgot about that.
Well, I'm actually on the bus coming back home right now. I just wanted to let you know that I was on my way back home now.
Oh yeah, now that I think about it, you did mention something about this to me yesterday, didn't you? You were talking about how you were feeling way more queasy than usual and that you wanted the doctors to have a look to make sure that everything was going well. So, anyways, what did they say? Was everything okay when you went to go to the doctors?
Yep, pretty much. They said that these things tend to happen when you're pregnant and that I was on track for a healthy baby.
That's amazing news. I'm so happy to hear that. But has there been any updates about the baby at all? Like, do we even know if it's going to be a boy or a girl?
I don't think we're going to be able to know that until we're about 20 weeks or so into this, but I guess we will find out eventually either way.
Yeah, you're right about that at least. But anyways, thanks a lot for updating me about this. I actually am just about to leave the office to go run some errands with my boss though, so I have to go right now. Sorry.
All good. Just wanted to give you an update and let you know that everything's going fine.
Got it. Well, I can't wait to hear more about that when you get home from work tonight.
Sounds good to me. Good luck at work today. You got this.
A few days later. Hey, Sam? Are you there? I just want to talk to you about something really quick.
Oh, Robert, sure. I thought you were at work right now, though. Is now a good time to talk for you?
Yeah, I'm really sorry. I just have to tell you this right now. It's pretty important, actually.
Oh my, I see. What is it? Is everything okay?
No, it's just, well, it's been decided that I'm going to have to go on a 6-month business trip to Alaska.
Hold on a second. Your work is going to be sending you all the way to Alaska?
Yeah, it's true. Kind of crazy, I know. I tried telling management that we more or less just found out that you were pregnant to not do this, but they already made up their minds. Besides, I guess the whole reason they chose me to go in the first place is because there isn't anyone else in the office who can do what I do, and they need me up there. But I would hate to make you move all the way up there with me, especially given that we do know that you're pregnant now. I would just hate for a move like that to have any kind of negative impact on the baby.
No, you're right about that. We should be careful with these kinds of things for sure. Besides, we're only just starting to get into winter now, and I don't know if I'm ready to go to Alaska at a time like this.
Yeah, not only that, but it sounds like they're going to be working me pretty hard up there. It sounds like I won't even have that much time for myself, let alone to be with you.
I see. So basically you're saying that it would be too much if I wanted to go up to be in Alaska with you while you were there.
I don't like it either, but I think it's important that we acknowledge that, right? But I was thinking about what we could do. And maybe it wouldn't be so bad if you go live with your parents for a bit until I get back. Maybe you could even stay there until you give birth, since they're clearly more capable of giving you the support that you need.
You think I should go back to my parents' place to give birth? Well, I guess I could do that. Although I suppose if I did, I would have to find a hospital down there and just make sure they had all my files on hand.
Yeah, not to mention that you already work remotely anyways, right?
You're right about that. It doesn't really matter where I am as long as I have my laptop to be able to do my work.
Well, great. It sounds like we figured it out. Why don't you go talk to your mom and dad about this then?
I guess I will. I'll go ahead and call my dad around the time that he should be getting off work.
1 month after moving in with mom and dad.
Sam, oh my gosh, it's been forever since I've heard from you. You have no idea how surprised I was to get a message from you. Well, of course I was going to reach out to you, Chelsea. After all, I did have some big news that I wanted to share with you. That's right. A huge congrats to you on being pregnant. This is so exciting. I can't believe you're going to be a mom soon. Not only that, but I can't believe that I'm going to get to hang out with one of my best friends soon. Well, the pleasure is all mine, trust me. I can't wait to get to hang out with you too. Say, Sam, is everything okay? I don't know, you seem a little bit off, I guess. What do you mean? You can tell that just through text? Well, I wouldn't be a good best friend if I couldn't tell through text, now would I? But yeah, is everything okay with you? Well, I don't really know if I should get into this. It's okay. You know that you can talk to me about anything. Think of all that we've been through together. You're right. The thing is that Robert left on a business trip to go to Alaska, and he's going to be away for a total of 6 months. Yeah, I remember you telling me something about that in the message where you told me you were pregnant and coming back home for a bit. But what does this have to do with you? Are you okay? Did you two get into a fight or something? No, we didn't get into a fight or anything like that, and I don't think that many things happened between us. Well then, what is it? What's got you so upset like this? I'm upset because no matter how hard I try, I can't seem to get a hold of Robert. What do you mean you can't get a hold of him? You mean like when you call, the reception is bad or something like that? No, I mean that when I call him, he doesn't even pick up. And he hasn't answered a text message of mine in forever as well. This has already been going on for a month already. Wait a second, you're telling me that your husband went away on a business trip a month ago and hasn't gotten in touch with you since? Well, it doesn't mean that he's doing anything bad, right? Maybe it just means that he's really busy or something. After all, he did tell me before leaving that his job was going to be keeping him extra busy while he was away on work. I see. But even if he was super busy, you'd think he would still send you the occasional update to let you know that he was doing okay. Right, I mean, yeah, I guess you are right about that. It's not like him to leave me high and dry like this. Sam, are you still at your parents' house right now? Yeah, I am actually. I'm probably going to be staying here for a while, actually. Why do you ask? Well, I'm just glad that you're at home with your folks rather than at home all by yourself. I'm just glad that you have family nearby. Yeah, I agree with you there. This would be much more difficult if I had to go through this by myself. That being said, I do have to go pretty soon to make a doctor's appointment. Oh, right. I guess you do still have all that to worry about on top of Robert. Well, okay then. You take care getting to your appointment. No problem. And thanks for checking in on me. I really do appreciate it. Hey, Robert, are you there? I really wish that you would get back to me. I miss you a lot, and I just want to know that you're okay. Are you eating enough? I guess I can tell you how I've been doing. There aren't really any problems here. The doctor says that the pregnancy is going well and there's nothing to worry about. So basically, assuming that nothing terrible happens, we should be on track for the baby's delivery. I guess I'll reach out to you later when I have some more news to tell you. Hey, Sam, are you there? I was just wondering if you had a little second to chat. Oh, Chelsea, hey there. Yeah, what's up? What's on your mind? I was just wondering where you are right now and if there's anyone close to you. Close to me, as in physically? Well, I'm at home right now with my mom, so I guess that she is. I see. The thing is that I kind of wanted to talk to you about Robert. I think I have some information that you might be interested in. What do you mean by that? Well, you told me that Robert told you he had to handle some business in Alaska for a while, right? Yeah, he said that his company was sending him there on a long-term business trip. But why do you even bring that up? Do you have some news about Robert that I might not have heard? Well, first, I just want to say that I am so sorry that you're about to hear what you have to hear through me. But there was no way that I was going to keep this from you all the way until you gave birth. I think you have a right to know what I'm about to tell you, and if anything, I'm glad that your mom is nearby, because I think you might need someone after I finish what I have to say. Chelsea, please, you're starting to scare me. Whatever it is that you have to tell me, can you please just spit it out already? You're right, I'm sorry. But you'll see why I feel so bad being the one to tell you this. The truth is that Robert is cheating on you. He's having an affair. There, I said it. I'm so sorry that you had to find out this way, but he's not even in Alaska. He's only in Chicago. Wait, what do you mean by that? What do you mean Robert's in Chicago? I mean that he's really only a 4-hour drive away from where you two live. Isn't that crazy? It is, because we've never gone to Chicago together. I know, but the thing is that apparently Robert is there in Chicago with another woman who is also pregnant. Okay, wait. Hold on just a second. Let's do this one at a time. So you're telling me that my husband was never in Alaska to begin with? Instead, he's been in Chicago this whole time? That's right. And the reason that I know that is because I'm on a business trip in Chicago right now. I'm actually staying not too far from where Robert is. You're kidding me. And you're sure that it's him that you saw? I wouldn't be messaging you this if I didn't triple check that it was him before coming to you about this. I'm sorry, I don't mean to doubt what you're saying, but this is all just so much to take in at once. And you're telling me that not only is he cheating on me, but he even got this other woman pregnant? Well, thanks for coming to me with this. You're right, I am glad to know all of this now. Robert, are you there? You and I need to have a little talk, or at least I have something that I need to tell you. Remember how you were asking about whether or not the baby was going to be a boy or a girl? Well, the doctors told me that they are quite sure I'm having a girl. But I guess you're still not going to respond to me. Well, anyways, I have another appointment that I need to get to. Hey, Chelsea, are you there? I just wanted to update you a little bit on how things have been going. And maybe do a little bit of complaining as well. Sam, of course, you know that you can always talk to me about whatever's on your mind. Well, I want you to know that I got some mail from Robert the other day. It was signed divorce papers. You're kidding me! He really sent you signed divorce papers in the mail when he hasn't even talked to you? That's right. And actually, I think that Robert's parents might have something to do with what's going on. His parents? Well, what do you mean by that? Well, you remember how I hired that PI to follow Robert around? He told me that apparently his other woman is pregnant with a son. I remember how Robert's parents would complain to me all the time that when I got pregnant, I had better give them a son. They told me all about how they just wouldn't accept a granddaughter and how worried they were about someone to carry on the family name. And another thing, the divorce papers came from the city of Chicago, so you were right. He was never in Alaska to begin with. Sam, I am so sorry. Are you okay right now? Is there anything I can do for you? What do you mean by that? Well, I just mean that you don't have to pretend to be unfazed by this, you know? It's okay to say that you're upset. Well, yeah, of course I'm upset about this, but I have more important things to worry about as well. Like this baby that I have inside me. And I'm not going to let the actions of their idiotic father affect how they grow up. You know, I have a lot of respect for you, but just please let me know if there's anything that I can do for you, okay? I will, Chelsea, but I just want to thank you for all that you've done for me already. It really does mean the world to me. Hello again, Robert. I just wanted to let you know that this marks half a year from when you began to ignore me completely. I really didn't think that this was going to last as long as it did. But anyways, I wanted you to know that I filed those divorce papers. I'm going to be moving in with my parents permanently now, and I never ever want to see you again. So have a nice life, you no-good cheating lowlife.
Hey, what? What do you mean by that? What are you talking about?
So this is what it takes to get you to respond to me?
You really have no idea what you're talking about at all, do you? I send you divorce papers, and you don't even bother asking me what it could be about? You just assume that I was cheating on you? I was hoping that those papers would have made you want to be with me even more. After all, I've been busting my butt up here for our family in Alaska. How dare you accuse me of cheating?
I'm not accusing you of cheating. I'm just stating a fact, Robert.
Well, do you even have any proof of what you're talking about?
Of course I have proof. You really think I would be acting this way if I didn't know what I was talking about?
Wait, you do have proof?
Of course I do. I have proof that you're cheating on me and proof that you're not in Alaska, but Chicago. And that you're with some woman named Eve, who you got pregnant before you did me.
Wait, hold on. How did you hear about all this?
Oh, I have my ways. But if you want to know how I found out about Chicago, it was because I called your work after you weren't getting back to my messages. I told them that I couldn't get in contact with you and asked if it was because you were in Alaska, but they told me that you had quit your job. And another one of your old coworkers told me about how you were talking about getting ready to move to Chicago. You went to try and line up with this Eve woman's pregnancy as well as to be close to your parents. And when you got my message about having a girl, that was when you finally sent me the divorce papers.
But then, you must realize this means that it's all your fault that I had to leave you, right? I mean, you knew how my parents felt about the sex of the baby, so you basically closed the door on yourself when you told me that you were pregnant with a girl.
How can you say that when you were already cheating on me before we even knew what the baby was going to be?
Look, Sam, you know that my parents really wanted a son, and yet you were going to give us a daughter. Well, you know what I think that means? I think that means you were cheating on me. Why else would you be having a daughter? I want a DNA test to prove that baby is even mine. A few years later. Hey, Sam. You there? I know we haven't talked in forever, but I just wanted to tell you the baby I had with Eve, well, it turns out that it wasn't even mine. So please, could you come back to me and marry me? Because you're not going to believe this, but Eve lied to me. She told me that she was going to have a son, but she was also pregnant with a daughter. Now my family has no heir, but we're desperate. Sam, are you there? Please, you have to pick up the phone. You and I could get back together. We could try and have a second child. I'm so sorry that I accused you of cheating all those years ago. You're right, though. I was the cheater, and it was my fault for ruining our marriage. But you have to know how sorry I am. I never thought that these things would end like this for me. Please, Sam. You have to take me back. I'm begging you.
For years, I had gone back and forth about whether or not to block Robert's number. I wasn't sure if I was waiting to think of something to say to him or if I was waiting for him to apologize. But when those messages came through, I realized that Robert was never going to change who he was as a person. And I suppose that means in some way I'm grateful that Robert took it upon himself to remove himself from my life like that. Of course, being a single mother hasn't been easy, but at least I've had my parents to rely on, not to mention the child support checks that I was able to get from Robert. It was only later that I heard about this through the grapevine, but it turns out that Robert ended up going to the doctor after having 2 girls. But the doctors were surprised and told him he was lucky to have any children at all. Apparently something was wrong, and the doctors told him they would be shocked if he could ever have children again. So it seems that Robert is never going to have a child who can pass on the family name. After I moved in with my parents permanently, Chelsea and I were able to hang out in person more and more. It was so great catching up with her, and I told her how thankful I was for all of her help while I was dealing with Robert. It was during this time that I met her older brother and fell in love. We married about a year after I had my daughter, and I moved out of my parents' house to live with him. It's been a few years since the 2 of us got married, and I couldn't be happier. I'm surrounded by friends and family and loved ones, and I haven't heard from Robert since the last time he messaged me all that time ago. I even have a second child, a son this time, with my new husband. My daughter, Naomi, has only ever known Robert as her father, and the 2 get along amazingly. One day, when she's older, we'll tell her the long and complicated story of her birth, but thankfully, that's not for a long time. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.